Hello, YouTube. An unexpected confirmation was received by a popular but very controversial hypothesis about the Flying Dutchman, those ships that are abandoned by their crews for no apparent reason. And I've talked about them in my other videos. Ships like this, you see them from time to time in the oceans, especially in the legendary Bermuda Triangle. Some experts explain people from those ships are driven by the horror that surge under the influence of infrasound, low-frequency vibrations below 20 Hz. The human ear does not perceive them, but the brain and nervous system somehow hear them. So they can reach in a bizarre way with the panic attacks. I have described the impact of infrasound on people who suffered various tragedies, but that was from the history of the Russian paranormal. But today we will look at another part of the world. American scientists from the Sandia National Laboratories found that the horror falls from the sky from the altitude of about 50 kilometers. It is inspired by something from the stratosphere, where there is no wind. Infrasound signals of the frequency that frightens people were recorded by special microphones installed on stratospheric balloons. Mysterious sounds were repeated several times an hour. The source of the signals remained unknown. Researchers do not even have any assumptions yet, but they reported on the phenomenon itself at the recent conference of the American Acoustic Society, the 184th meeting of the Acoustic Society of America, held in Chicago. That announcement intrigued the audience very much. The scientists stressed that they were ready to hear anything, but not about the infrasound. They plan to continue listening and still find the source of the mysterious fluctuations. Oddities in the sky over the Bermuda Triangle, much lower than the stratosphere, were noticed a few years ago by Steve Miller from the Colorado State University, a meteorologist specializing in the analysis of satellite images. In these very pictures, he observed hexagonal clouds. It was also strange that the wind velocity under them reached 280 kilometers per hour. Subsequent measurements showed that the wind blows in gusts. Sometimes it falls from the top to bottom with such air bumps, and sometimes it raises waves 15 meters high. Interacting with each other, the waves can rise higher. Well, it is not known where the clouds of such strange shape come from, but according to Steve, they appear suddenly and sometimes bomb ships, and they quickly drown sometimes, so they do not have time to send a distress signal, those ships. They can also sink or drown a low-flying airplane if it falls under the aerial bombardment. They will throw it down sharply. Well, there's another opinion. The Australian oceanographers, Professors Joseph Montagan and his colleague David May from the Monash University in Melbourne, believe that the solution to the mysterious phenomena occurring in the Bermuda Triangle and in other anomalous areas of the oceans should be looked for at the bottom. Scientists point out methane hydrates accumulating there. Released and forming giant bubbles, they rise to the surface, and ships sink in these bubbles. Scientists simulated the process on a computer, and they demonstrated that any ship caught in a methane bubble can instantly lose buoyancy and disappear into the abyss. The bubble, rising higher into the atmosphere, is capable of shooting down an airplane. Experimenting Monaghan and May drowned model ships in the pool. Those went to the bottom, falling into bubbles. Now, their assumption put forward about 10 years ago is considered the most sound for those who believe that the mystery of the Bermuda Triangle really exists. Science editors of the prominent Russian newspaper that drew my attention to the story, they added a comment. The Bermuda Triangle is an area in the Atlantic Ocean bounded by Miami, Bermuda, and Puerto Rico. Many believe that something mysterious, if not supernatural, is happening there. Specifically, people, ships, and airplanes disappear without a trace, or the ships remain and only all the people who were on board, they disappear. The stories about the cargo ship Rubicon are considered the most ostentatious, and the one story with 5 military U.S. aircraft. Rubicon left the port in Cuba on September 26, 1944, and on October 22nd it was found abandoned by the crew. Despite the fact that the ship was fully operational, it was drifting calmly, lunch was served in the mess, and a line remained unfinished or incomplete in the ship's log. Now, the American military aircraft on which the cadets made training flight disappeared without a trace in December 1945, along with 14 cadets and instructors. First, journalists and then writers and cinematographers, clinging to these stories, supplemented them, inflated and gradually fueled interest in the supposedly mysterious place. Then the terms Devil's Sea and the Bermuda Triangle were coined, and by the end of the 1960s, so much fear and mystery had caught up that the popularity became global. Many, including serious scientists, are convinced that the Bermuda Triangle is indeed an anomalous zone. Some skeptics, however, proved that there were no more mysterious cases in the cursed place than in some other dangerous areas of the world ocean, and they do not happen more often. Ships and planes go missing every now and then in the ocean, but no one listened to the skeptics. It's much more interesting to be scared and solve riddles. By the way, there are still enough relatively minor incidents in the Bermuda Triangle to this day. Light engine aircraft, yachts, people from the yachts disappear. But high-profile cases, such as the whole world shuddered from, have not been heard of more than 20 years. Either the triangle itself has run out of steam, the methane has run out, or the rescue services are now working better. They have time to come to the rescue. Or the psyche of people has become stronger. Infrasound no longer works as before. So, no more nightmares. Or are the skeptics right after all, who consider the fame of the Bermuda Triangle to be artificially inflated? Okay. Now the hype has passed, and there is almost nothing mysterious left. That's what the editors believe. Now here's what I'll tell you. I have attached a link to my video about statements of the Soviet Navy officers who were on secret missions aboard submarines in the Bermuda Triangle area, and they observed very interesting phenomena. The end of the USSR brought forth previously secret information, not all, but enough to make you wonder about what is being hidden from us. Now, I have more to describe about the Bermuda Triangle and research done there in the 1970s, but this will be later. I also want to let you know that I have completed videos about the Far Eastern similar area, and you can find it in the playlists in my channel about the underwater mysteries. Pay attention. You can listen to the editors, give them enough respect, but keep your own eyes and ears open. I think something is going on there, but it's like waves, up and down. Maybe like the power of infrasound. Sometimes very powerful, sometimes it disappears. So that's what I wanted to let you know today. And I'll keep bringing you more interesting stories about the Bermuda Triangle, about the Devil's Triangle, about other interesting events and cases that occur in our oceans, seas, lakes, rivers, and so on. Thank you.